Hi, welcome to Ikare's Crossing. What I want to do is slowly go through the decks that I've managed to collect over time, and I think I'll do each Tuesday, go through and the decks that I've actually got and actually go through them in sort of depth so that you can actually see some of the cards that I've actually got. So I'm going to shift the camera down. Today's deck is the Epic Tarot. Okay, it comes with this little book here that, of course, is in different languages, of course. There's about 22 pages in English. It goes through and explains a little bit about the deck, a little bit of interesting information, which I sort of started to read, but to try and memorize all that she's sort of going through this deck in particular, it does take quite a bit of work. And I find what happens is when I'm doing a reading for somebody, all that sort of goes out the window, and it's basically the message that the client requires is what comes through. I mean, there's lots of really cool stuff. She goes on about the seeker, magic, receptive, creative, knowledge, love, and war. Like the seeker is the magician, wheel, and devil. Magic is the high priestess, hanged man, and star. Receptive is the empress, strength, and moon. Creative is emperor, justice, and sun. Knowledge is hierophant, hermit, and judgment. Love is lovers, temperance, and world. And war is chariot, death, and tower. So there's that sort of aspect to it, which is sort of quite interesting. And it sort of explains about the knave, the knight, the queen, and the king, which are quite different. So the knave is actually the unicorn, the knight is a griffin, queen is phoenix, and king is the dragon. Okay, for advanced study, there's a sequence which is always the same, and it goes griffin, phoenix, dragon, and unicorn. So you can use the court cards with an advanced study, which is said to be the combination of the number plus the suit. Epic Tarot, these cards are a combination of the number, the suit, and the invisible court aspect. So the sequence is always the same. It's Griffin, Phoenix, Dragon, and Unicorn. The sequence starts with the 2, not the ace, and repeats twice before ending with the 9. So in the chalices, the sequence starts with Griffin, and the Pentacles it starts. So it's quite an advanced study thing that you can sort of go into, which is quite in depth. Okay, so it goes through explaining the major arcana through each aspect. So it says like the Fool with him, then it's go next thing from the Magician onwards. Magician to the Chariot is the material realm. These cards represent, among other things, tasks we are charged with in order to become good citizens in our material world. So it goes on quite a bit in regards to different aspects. So it goes through. So the 4 suits are basically chalice, sphere, swords, and books instead of books instead of wands. Spheres instead of pentacles, chalices, cups, same thing. Swords. So yeah, so let's go through and I'll show you the cards. So you can actually have a look. There's the box that it comes in. Whoops. Here's the box. It's got the High Priestess on the front and the Justice on the back. So there you go. So, and it's got a couple of extra cards in it as well. Just sort of quite cool. Oops, where is it? That's there. And this says, you and if some god shall wreck me in the wine dark deep, even so I will endure. For already I have suffered full much, and much have I toiled in perils of waves and war. Let this be added to the tale of those. Homer, the Odyssey. So that sort of comes with it, and then another little curiosity card as well, with a little bit of tarot invitation, which of course if you want to take it up, that's cool. Okay, so let's bring this down. I'm going to, let's see if this works. As I bring this to, oops, let's see if this works. Not quite sure, maybe not. Oh, it's going to go up too high, isn't it? I was hoping it would stretch, but I don't think it quite will. Needs to be up a bit. Okay, so I'll put it back up here and hold it down. Oops. Oops. There you go. I was hoping it would, so that you could see the cards a bit clearer. But what I might do is sort of hold them up. Okay, so here we go. The Fool, the Magician. Now you can see these cards are quite different. So they're going to tell a bit of a story with them, which is quite cool. The Empress, I love her. You know, you see her round belly. The Emperor, quite different. So definitely not Rider-Waite imagery, of course. Quite fantasy. Here's the Lovers. I mean, that to me is quite an intense relationship. So the Chariot. Strength. The Hermit. Wheel of Fortune's quite cool. It's quite different about directions, moving. Going in or going out. Tunnel. Justice. Hanged Man. It's quite different. It's a Death card, which is very different. It's like, but it's got the Hellhound. Temperance. The Devil, which is really different. You know, it is quite a different sort of aspect of the card. The Tower. Man's pointing to the tower at the back. Oh, I really put that on, didn't I? It's a Star. Moon. It's quite different with the Mirror. The Sun. Judgment. World. Okay, I'm going to go through the books. Okay, the books are like the wands, or fire element, if you like. There's a lot, they say in the book, with the wands, like you've got, let's see if I can find the information here quickly. It's chalices, I don't want that. Pentacles, wands, right? Ace of books. It says the book opened. Okay. And then 2 is like the book not yet written. 3, the book chosen. 4 is the book abandoned. 5 is the book attacked. 6 is the book connects. 7 is the book forgives. The 8 is the book creates. 9, the book controls. And 10, the book compels. Okay, so here's the unicorn, which is your knave. Okay, that's the book begins. Okay. The griffin, or the knight, is the confusing book. Okay, the griffin, or the phoenix is the book left behind. Leaving the book behind. And then the king is the book controls. Okay, so that's the books, which is your wands. Okay, so let's go chalices. Without going into all the details, let's just go through each card. Just to give you an idea, it goes through and sees each. 2, 3. What I like to do is look at the imagery and describe the card. What's going on? What do you see? What are the characters doing? What's happening around the character? Does the character notice? Does the character not notice? What colours stand out? 5. Okay, 6. I mean, that's quite a different sort of 6 of chalices. To me, is a sense of battling, isn't it? So it's quite different than the, the 6 of chalices is normally about harmony. So maybe there is about creating some harmony in that situation. Seven, not seeing clearly. 8, feeling sorry for self. That's alright. 9, gulping it down. 10. And the knave. The griffin. The phoenix. And the dragon. Okay, so we've got the swords. Ace. Quite like that card, the Ace of Swords, with the wings on either side. It's over a table of some sort. And it looks like a crystal in the background. So I quite like that Ace of Swords. There's a 2, quite like that too, with the face removing the mask. Trying to find some peace. 3, heartbroken, running away. So there is some Rider-Waite aspects in the card, but the imagery is quite different. That's the 4. Like the 5, he's standing on the edge, so he's in conflict mentally about whether he's going to fly or not, whether he's going to soar. The 6, he creates a shift by throwing away the sword. Shift of mind. 7. asking for some help. What's that? 8, being tied up, being chained. 9. And the 10 of Swords is quite unique in this. It's like an ending in a, like the couple are arguing, quarrelling. It's the end of a relationship. It's quite a bit different. And they've got the animals, you know, the dragon, the griffin, the phoenix, and the unicorn. It's actually got all 4 of those in the 10 of Swords, which is quite interesting in regards to the ending, the finality of a situation. Okay, so then we've got the unicorn. Oh, is it the... Oops, there's your griffin. The phoenix. And your dragon. Okay, last suit, spheres. Just your earth. Okay, your pentacles. So there's your ace. 1, 2. So that's supposed to be about juggling. So I feel like he looks a bit stressed and overwhelmed. It's rushing towards him. Let's see. 3. 4 of spheres. They're all sleeping. It's a bit strange, isn't it? 5. I mean, you could if you really wanted to, and you really wanted to study it. I think because I've done tarot for so long, I've sort of got into my routine of just looking at the cards intuitively. But if you wanted to learn the in-depth in what she's written, you know, what's written in the little book, totally up to you. But I like to read intuitively, look at the pictures and see what the pictures are telling me. What's the story behind each card, basically? That's what I like to look at. So we've got 8, 9, and 10. I love that 10 of Pentacles, or 10 of Spheres, when you've got all the riches happening in your life. You've got the unicorn, the griffin, the phoenix, your queen, and then your king, your dragon. So there we have the Epic Tarot. So now that you've seen all the cards, now I know lots of people do lots of you see, I'm not really a shuffler in that respect. I like to sort of shuffle. Watch 3 cards pop out, and they're all different too. Well, 6 and 7, and then we've got the lovers. So we've got that shift of thoughts, taking back your power, and an intense relationship. Finding maybe you've got some choices to make within a relationship. We have 6 of swords, 7 of swords, and the lovers just threw themselves out. So that's why I like it when cards just jump within themselves. So you can see, I mean, I can go into a lot more depth. So you can see that there's a sense of mentally actually changing their thoughts. So there's actually about throwing away, discarding those thoughts that don't hold you well, so that you can move into new places. You're actually throwing away the clutter throwing away what no longer serves you mentally, so that you can move into a better space within oneself. And then this one here is a sense of being helped, maybe asking for help from someone. Maybe someone's trying to be controlling, and you maybe need, this could be the card to sort of say, hey, you need to not ask for help, but actually stand up and do it yourself. You know, take control of your own life. And the intense relationship, sexuality within the relationship might be quite intense at this time. So a lot goes on there, 6, 7 and 6s. So you've got 6s here. So it's all about trying to create some harmony, if you like, within your life mentally and within your relationships. Maybe you need to find some harmony within your relationships. Could be really, really important. So there we have the Epic Tarot, completely shown. Okay, and look forward to the next video. That's not going to work, is it? Oh, here we go. The next video for you next Tuesday. We'll have the next deck to show you. So take care and blessed be.